Washington football addicts, baby. Let's go. Washington football addicts. We've been repping for years. Always keeping it real. It's Rod, Steve, Devin, Phil. We talking about latest deals and what goes on the field and happenings with the team. So listen if you a fiend.
Hey, Washington football addicts. Welcome to Pod 84. It's your boy Rod, and we are back with some more drama for you guys. And it's regular season. We're actually doing it for real this time. No more preseason punch. So as always, we have Phil introduce the pod. So Phil, kick it off, brother.
We are doing pod number 84, and if you're a fan of this team, you better know who I'm going to introduce. It is the third member of the posse we've discussed in the past few weeks, Gary Clark. The pride of Southwestern Virginia and JMU. Go Dukes. And let's put it this way. He's two-time Super Bowl champion. His statistics are on par with Hall of Famers, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. I can go on for a long time talking about how that man should be in the Hall of Fame because he was kind of the prototype for the current, slot receiver, small, quick, twitch kind of guy. But, I could go on forever, but you all know Gary Clark, so I'm not going to go into all the details.
Definitely, man. And always salute to some of the former Redskins or Washington football team greats that we used to have be part of us. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest joining us today, and I want to introduce Kevin, from the Charger Chat podcast. So, Kevin, thanks for joining us, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. It's my pleasure. It's so fun to talk to other team fans and other podcasts. So this is awesome. Thanks for having me on.
No, definitely, man. And we love to do the enemy intel. So we would definitely want to hear some of your feedback as we move forward with this pod. But one thing that always strikes us when we talk before we hit play, you're in the middle of the country, so you're not necessarily in Charger land. So what's your fan story? How did you become a fan of the San Diego / Los Angeles Chargers?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. I grew up in San Diego. So my dad was a Charger fan, and me, my brother, my family, we're Charger fans. So we had season tickets early, and I got started really when we went to the Super Bowl back in '94. And that was kind of the beginning of my process of being a Charger fan. I was a young kid back then. So that's kind of how it happened. And then I moved to Missouri. My other podcast host moved to Idaho. My brother stayed in San Diego. And then, right when we were having that crazy time where we were moving and we were in a soccer stadium and all this stuff happening, we just weren't feeling the Charger community at all. It sucked. The energy wasn't great. So we decided to come together and start a shamelessly positive podcast about the Chargers. And that's Charge Chat.
Awesome, man. No, I love it. So how long have you guys been doing your podcast now?
We started in 2019, so it was Phil Rivers last year, and then this is our coming on our third year. So it's been fun, man. It's a slow incremental growth and a lot of awesome interaction with Chargers. We met Sean Merriman, talked to Austin Eckler. It's been a fun roller coaster, and it's just getting bigger. So it's been fun.
Awesome. I definitely want to say we're jealous of you because you go from Phil Rivers to Justin Herbert.
That's how you're telling me.
Oh,
that's
my God.
Awesome.
I'll keep it PG, but I'm giving you something other than thumbs up right now for sure. We're struggling. We're hating ourselves every year, it seems, with the quarterback situation. But no, that's pretty cool, man. So
are you saying you would rather have taken the quarterback over Young?
Hey, that's another discussion. But hey, a quarterback is always the base of the team, man. I mean, Chase Young has been phenomenal for us. I'm wearing his jersey this evening. But
you all heard it here first on Washington Addicts that Rod has said he would rather have.
Hey, sacks are fun. Touchdowns are way more fun.
Absolutely. So we'll kick it to the next segment, man. Really kind of just jump off because we know we got a game going on, and we hate Dallas so much. We're pulling their fans and everyone pulling the league. Look at us. Let's listen to us talk. But hey, the Chargers offseason. So we talked about the Washington football team ad nauseum. But one thing I want to take away and we want to get your feedback, man. Your new head coach, he sat out 8 starters. I'm just going to run through them real quick. So Justin Herbert didn't play a single preseason snap. Derwin James, Austin Eckler, who's kind of been banged up recently. I've been following the injury report. Tight end Jarrett Cook, center Corey Linsley, right tackle Brian Beluga, and defensive tackle Linval Joseph. How do you guys feel going into week 1 without having that side of those preseason snaps?
I'm feeling amazing because the Chargers usually week 1, we're missing a whole bunch of those guys you just named are not playing. So the fact that we're walking into this game healthy, and I know there's been a lot blown up about Austin Eckler's status, but he's tweeting like, can't wait for Sunday after the news about his hamstring. So I'm not worried about Austin Eckler. The fact that we're walking in with a healthy Derwin James, like everyone is like in good shape. This is preseason is whatever. Like we all been talking about it. Like there might be a little rust, but I'll take healthy guys with a little rust as opposed to not having the guys on our team.
All right. So, Steve, how do you feel about Kevin's assessment there? Do you agree, disagree?
Well, I'll say that I was extremely impressed with Justin Herbert last year. I was very fond of Justin Herbert, and I kind of wish he would have fell, or not fell. I wish we would have at least considered him over Chase Young, but I love Chase Young. But you're right. Touchdowns wins games. Sacks are not as sexy, but I don't know. Like, is Justin Herbert good enough for you to have enough confidence to think he's going to be fine just based off you saw with 1 year? I mean, I don't know. I don't watch him close enough. I know if we had a second-year quarterback, given our history of god-awful quarterbacks, I would be petrified. Clearly, he's not the type of caliber quarterback that we've had lately. So, I mean, I guess there's got to be some. I mean, were they practicing? It was a conscious decision not to play. So, I'm assuming they went through all the walkthroughs. They did all the practices. They're not injured. They're healthy. So they probably took mental reps. I mean, as a fan, yeah, I'd be a little worried if my players, my key players weren't playing. But I mean, we don't even have our number 2 wide receiver in Chris Samuel. He's been injured for 4 months. So At the end of the day, they're professionals. This is the coach's decision. I'm sure it was well thought out. So they just got to perform.
Well, with Justin Herbert, the thing that you like to remind everybody is that like last year he had no offseason. He was the third string quarterback. He threw to Keenan Allen once in during the offseason. So the fact that he stepped in, did what he did without any of that, he had no.
Thanks to the team doctor. Thank you. Little
Shotsky.
I love Tyrod Taylor. I love Tyrod Taylor.
Talk about like the beginning of an awesome story. Like that's just crazy how that all happened. But
that's like a villain story, man.
It's a horror movie. He got shot in the chest. And like that's crazy. But he didn't have any preseason games last year, and you saw what he did when he stood out. Went out on the field against the Super Bowl defending Chiefs, and we took him to overtime. So, I think it's more about like we're looking at a different season now. You're looking at an extra game, and I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a lot. You want these guys to play their best football at the end of the year, and skipping on the preseason, like we'll see. But I'm feeling pretty good about it.
So if you want them to play their best football at the end of the year, are you saying you guys are going to go 0-1?
No, hell no. 1-0 for sure, dude.
But Kevin, before I pass my on, the new coach,
Brandon Staley.
Staley. I mean, do you think there's going to be not a gelling? At times, sometimes it takes time for a coach to find his groove with his player, especially his quarterback. I mean, without having any reps in the. And is he an offensive guy or defensive guy? I don't know much about Staley.
So here's the thing with Staley. This is why it's so exciting. Like we've had Gus Bradley the last 3-4 years, and our defense has been very, very vanilla, very just don't let big plays happen. Brandon Staley, defensive coordinator of the Rams last year, had the number 1 defense in the league.
With Nick Bay,
so
that's right.
What I've seen just from preseason games with backups, the way we're playing, how aggressive we are. Everyone says how difficult his defense is to analyze and to find the mic, to find all this stuff. They disguise it so well. So I love the offense. I love watching Justin Herbert throw the ball. And I'm usually like, oh God, when is this defense going to get off the field? Totally different for me after watching these preseason games. Like it's going to be a different Charger team when you see us on Sunday, because I think we're going to come after you, bro. It's coming fast.
Okay.
I like to hear it. So Phil, are you worried about any rust that we may have on our side of the ball as well?
Well, I'm curious about Fitzmagic. Tell me a little bit about Fitzmagic, if you don't mind.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've warmed up to the idea personally. I came out here the very first pod we did after we signed him, and I said, hey, if you want a bearded 38-year-old to throw a bunch of interceptions, I'll take half his money. And I can do that. But the more I started analyzing and looking through what he's done and the situations he's been in, I felt more comfortable with it. I went to training camp and I saw how he was commanding the offense. I felt comfortable with it. I like the fact that he can make plays with his legs. He's not a statue back there. Even at 38 years old, he's still mobile. And I think that, he's a poor man's Brett Favre is the best way you can describe him. He's a gunslinger who's got some mobility to him. And it's going to be different because we're so used to guys we have to play it safe with because they're inexperienced or they just don't have that arm and they don't have that mentality. And one of the things we have to realize is with Fitzpatrick, you're going to have to deal with the good and the bad. The bad is he's going to throw probably as many interceptions as we saw last year between 3-4 quarterbacks. But he's going to throw more touchdowns.
Sure.
That's just how he is. And I think that with all the other weapons we put in place in this offense, and that's the thing people forget, we got Curtis Samuel, who'll be back probably around week 3, I'm thinking. You'll still get him for 14 games. Got Adam Humphries in there, who's a capable slot receiver. We picked up Jarrett Patterson in the draft. We have, a blossoming tight end in Logan Thomas. We got drafted another good tight end in John Bates. Antonio Gibson's back. He should be healthy. So we have bolstered this offense to be fairly competent and to play fast to go along with everybody, who we already know, like a Terry McLaurin. So I think Fitzpatrick's going to have a lot of weapons to play with. Now, hopefully he doesn't get too reckless with having all these weapons, but he has talent around him. And I think that he can give that talent a chance to grow. Another one to watch for you guys to watch is De'Ami Brown. We drafted him in late third round, and he's just a straight burner. He's got to take the top off of any defense. And if Fitz wants to drop that 50-50 ball to him, good things can happen.
Now, Kevin, before we kick it to Dev for the next segment, I did want to kind of follow up with what you said earlier. You said you're not concerned with Austin Eckler being injured. You think he'll be good Sunday. So with that, like who's the depth behind him if he isn't really ready to go on Sunday?
So we have Justin Jackson, who's been like the longtime RB2 for our team. He's finally healthy. He's never healthy. So him, and then the one that I'm the most excited about, because I am from Missouri and I live next to the University of Missouri, is Larry Roundtree. He looked awesome in preseason. So, I think it's definitely, it's Eckler's job, but I think the guys spelling him, the guys are going to come in. It's going to be a unique backfield. And I think it'll be effective. And the biggest thing for us right now is that fully revamped offensive line. We have one returning guy, Brian Bulaga, on our offensive line. Otherwise, completely new offensive line. So I'm as excited about what this team's going to look like as what you're about to face, because I don't know. This is a brand new situation. We had I think it was like 23 new players on our roster. Like, it's been a big turnover. So it's going to be an exciting season for us. And I can't wait to see, the big one for me is, Rashawn Slater versus your boy Young. That's been the storyline that everybody's been talking about. And I hope he picks up where he left off in college, because that'd be pretty sweet for us.
I have a feeling that Dev might talk about that. If not, I'm sure we'll touch it. So, Dev,
it was going to be my matchup. That or Terry McLaurin versus Michael Davis or Chris Harris Jr. That was going to be it. But after you said that you had an all new line, but Beluga, and you didn't play preseason. And you're going to play against
Let's
Sweat.
go. I ain't worried. Let's go.
Young, Ioannidis, Settles, Payne, and Moses, Thomas, all the other guys that follow him.
I don't know half of those people are. What are you talking about?
Oh, come on, Kevin. You're being facetious.
There's no way. There's no way. I mean, I'm trying to figure out the over-under. We're going to sack that guy, man.
Good luck. He's a scrambler, man. He didn't, it's not easy to get him down. He's a big boy, 6'6", 250. It's not easy. You're not going to blow him over.
That sounds like our smallest defensive lineman. I don't know.
We'll see. You got 6'6" defensive lineman.
You got a linebacker that's 6'5", 260. I mean, I don't know.
But you got to remember, Herbert is not the token Oregon quarterback that we know of the past. The Marcus Mariotas. Yeah, like He's pro ready. He surprised everybody, and he gets rid of the ball quickly. He doesn't take a lot of
I would still take Chase Young, man. You can get 3 more Justin Herberts in the next 2 drafts, man. You're not going to get another Chase Young.
I'll tell you this.
Sorry.
We have a bold prediction at the end of each episode, and our most recent one is I don't think Chase Young's getting a sack in this game.
What?
I don't know what your other guys
are.
Hold on.
I
don't think he's getting a sack
I feel like it's a bet. You have a great.
Let's go. I got a Venmo. Let's do this.
I watched that.
Shave that. You're the only one with hair. You got to shave that thing, man. We're all jealous of that. You know.
I have a little bit.
It's my Herbert vibes. You know what I mean?
I heard that pod, and I remember listening to you all talk about it, and your thought process was, well, Rashawn Slater, top draft pick, he's going to shut him down. And the thing that I have to break it to you guys is that Chase Young plays the majority of his snaps over right tackle. So it's going to be Chase Young versus Brian Beluga.
Well, that'll be even easier because then he won't have to see him very often. That'll be easier for Rashawn to win that.
No, because Rashawn still got. Here's on the other side, you have Montez Sweat.
I'm going to find a way to flip everything you say back. So just keep going.
Hold on. I was prepared for that.
Okay.
So you got Montez Sweat on the other side. Montez Sweat is also a first-round pick. He actually led this team in sacks last year, not Chase Young. He's a first-round talent. He's an elite edge rusher as well. So you're going to have both sides of that pocket being pushed back. Now, Rashawn Slater, great talent. I thought he was one of the best linemen in the draft. But it is his first game, and you know these guys, both Young and Sweat, because we know their mentality. We've been watching them play. They're going to anytime they line up over him, they're going to want to eat him alive. Because that's just they have that real competitive nature. And I can see where, having Slater on one side, but Beluga is kind of a question mark. He's not a great right tackle. Now, we have our own deal because we have a right tackle who's a rookie.
And I'm terrified of that.
Cosby, that's going to be a problem. You talk about your defense as much as you want. I'm excited about the other side of that as well.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, transition to that. Listening to your guys' last podcast as well as what you said. You guys, well, I don't know who it was, but you guys did a profile on Sam Cosmi coming into the draft because you guys thought that maybe there was a chance that Chargers would pick him up.
If we didn't go tackle in the first round, he would be like the guy we'd want to pick up in the second if he was there.
So for me, I am semi-terrified of Joey Bosa versus Sam Cosmi because I don't know what to expect of Cosmi. I didn't watch him at Texas. Yes, I watched a little bit of here and there. We saw him in the preseason a little bit, but it's Joey Bosa. So
I think what's going to happen,
you gotta neutralize him. You gotta chip him. We saw people. I mean, sometimes it took 3 people to get rid of Chase. So Chase didn't have the metrics that the sack numbers, but he had the metrics in disruptions or and that's what Bosa brings to the table too. So he might not get the sacks, but it's going to take 2 people to neutralize him, and that's another person who's out of the play.
Sure.
So that's a big deal to me. Is the Bosa Cosmi matchup. That's one of my key matchups that I'm looking for week 1 to see how that goes because
you slide your all-pro right guard and bring the Sheriff over to clip him, or you get John Bates, who's one of the best blocking tight ends in the league already, and you get him to come in and double team on the block. There's ways you can do this, and we got the depth and talent to make it happen.
Well, I think we're talking about Joey because he's the big name. He's the easy name, right? We have a guy on our team that we just picked up. Kyler Fackrell.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to get at least 1 sack in this game. The guy looks awesome. And not only that, Nwosu, our guy that I just feel like our defensive coordinator the past couple of years has really been holding these guys back. And what I've seen in these preseason games, because a lot of those guys played, it was disruptive. So I am not going to pretend that you guys don't have an amazing defensive line because that's what you guys are known for. That's what the highlight of your team is. But I think it's going to be a very intense defensive battle, but I think it's going to come down to quarterback play. I think it's just that's just what it is. It's going to
I think Michael Davis is the key for you guys, man. Because if you go in nickel and dime packages, he slides what's his name? Chris
Harris.
Chris Harris, he slides the slot, right? Doesn't he defend slot?
Mm-hmm.
McLaurin doesn't go slot. So that means there's most of the time when they're in sub packages, you're going to have Michael Davis on McLaurin. That's the why I chose that matchup. That's going to be interesting.
And then also Derwin James is playing all over the field. They have a new position in our defense called star and money. And basically the way they're moving these guys around, it's not your normal nickel dime packages. It is very fluid and very dynamic. So I think our defense is going to take a lot of people by, catch them off guard this game.
Derwin James healthy. I love
Finally
James coming out of the draft.
We wanted him in
can't wait.
DC so bad.
Yeah,
So
we needed
bad.
that safety position filled
Yes.
so bad, and I wish we would have taken him. And it was unfortunate to see him go down because I really thought Derwin James could have the potential to be the next coming of Sean Taylor. He was getting those sort of hype coming out of the draft.
Yeah,
So-
and he's calling our defense. Usually linebackers have the green dot and they make the calls. Derwin James is the quarterback of our defense, which is very rare. So he's a smart player,
Wow.
and he does everything. So
which
he's gonna be
scares
all over
me.
the place.
My second point, and I'll shut up about my other matchup I want to see is Jared Cook versus our linebackers, because historically we have no middle linebackers that can cover tight ends for shit, and it's always a problem. The seam down the middle is always open. We got our first round pick, Jamin Davis. He's athletic. We don't know what he's going to be. So Jared Cook has the potential to put up some numbers if LA chooses to exploit that, because we don't know what Davis is going to do. He's very fast, he's very athletic, but we just don't know. And tight ends have always just destroyed us. Always. We make Evan Ingram look like a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Steve, I will say this: we saw that once Cole Holcomb came back later in the season from injury last year, our ability to cover tight ends did improve drastically because he can actually do it. Now, granted, he's only one man. He's got to cover different parts of the field, obviously, and John Bostic just does not drop deep enough. But I think Jamin Davis has the athleticism to, you just put those two out there. I've been saying this I've been saying this for months now. I really think you're not going to see a base 4-3 out of this team. It's going to be a 4-2-5.
I think
with a Buffalo nickel. You're going to have Cam Curl, who was one of the best rookies that we had last year as one safety. And at the other safety, you've got Landon Collins, who was playing pretty well, in the box when he was playing in the box until he got hurt last season. So I think that you can mitigate some of the speed that the Chargers bring, because the Chargers do bring a lot of speed on the field, a lot of offensive talent.
What are you guys going to do about our 6'7" tight end Parham? Because he's a matchup nightmare.
Donald Parham.
Clip him at the knees.
Cheap shot. Come on,
Kevin,
Phil. You're better than that, Phil.
Is there? Have you heard anything?
I played
else
offensive line and defensive line. there's no
fighting, eye gouging, groin shots. I see.
Exactly.
I see.
Hey, Kevin, have you heard anything else about Austin Eckler?
Basically, it's everyone overreacting on Twitter and everywhere. I follow him on Twitter, and he's like, "See you guys on Sunday," posting like a hype video. So here's the thing with our new coaching staff. They've been very, they have the gloves on when it comes to anybody pulling up with anything. So no matter what it is, I think he was out of practice again today. I think he'll practice tomorrow. He was standing on the sideline with his helmet on, ready to go. He just didn't get into practice. So I'm not worried about it.
Oh, awesome, man. So you kind of had some hot takes earlier, so we're going to segue to one of the final segments, I guess. So, Phil, what's your hot take and or maybe a final score prediction for this game?
My hot take is we come out fast and furious on both sides of the ball in ways that we're not used to. Well, we're used to it on defense. We saw it last season in the opener against Philly when we dropped 8 sacks on Carson Wentz. I think you'll see that, but I think on offense, I really get this. I get this feeling that they're going to let Fitzpatrick unleash the cannon a little bit, and you'll see 2 quick scores, and then it's going to settle into a defensive game after that. But I think those 2 scores are what are going to get us, the win. And I predicted this last night on Manny's podcast. Go check that out, and I'll say it here. I predict 28-17 Washington.
Not on this defense, buddy. Not happening. Sorry.
You got to play some preseason games for me to feel as confident as you do.
Yeah, that's a lazy take. No, we're good. We're feeling
No, it's not.
It's going to be good.
I kind of agree with him, because I'm like, you could say he didn't play any snaps or anything, but Fitzpatrick only played like 12. Like, I mean, is it?
Fitzpatrick's been in the league a lot longer than
I get that too.
Herbert.
I get that.
Justin Herbert got 1 off season. And he's got 2 seasons down his belt and has played 0 preseason games.
Doesn't need him. Rookie of the year didn't play any preseason games. I'm feeling this. You're making my point. I love it.
We got Rookie of the Year too.
Keep going, Phil. I love it.
We got rookie of the year too, and our rookie of the year is going to meet your rookie of the year in your backfield twice.
We'll see.
Ooh.
We got an all-pro rookie of the
I'm
year.
writing all this down just so you know when it's
So
over.
that's 2 sacks. That's a hot take. So because
Shit,
Kevin
man.
said that Chase Young wouldn't have any sacks, I think earlier, and you just
Goose
said
egg.
2.
Goose egg.
Okay.
I think
Because I'm hoping
Ioannidis-
that we
I
at
think
least split
Ioannidis
the
gets
difference
off.
and he gets one.
Split the difference.
I think Ioannidis gets off, man.
That's another thing.
That's what I think
Don't
is gonna have
sleep
a
on the
good game.
interior line.
Who's she?
Oh shit.
I'm just
my
kidding.
God.
I'm just kidding. I'm playing.
Bring in the clowns.
I'm the enemy. I'm playing.
Hey,
True.
you can make that joke till you realize that he could deadlift all 5 of us.
Oh yeah, he'd destroy me. I'm just making
He's the man.
making funnies.
He is a beast. Like he just forklifts offensive linemen into the backfield.
Nice.
He's that kind of guy.
Nice.
So Dev, I'm gonna kick it to you, bro. What's your hot take? What's your final score prediction for this game?
Man, I don't think it's going to be easy. Maybe I've watched I listened to some radio show this morning. I don't know if it's 980 or whatever. The Fan. I don't know the local channels up there, but there's some guy that said there's like a small hint that Ron is messing with everybody about Curtis Samuel. They're like, if he's got it growing, why not put him on IR for 3 weeks so he can bring somebody up? But he's refusing to do it, and he's not even like reading him on the injury report. He's just putting do not practice. So there's people saying that he's doing a little gamesmanship, that he's not really hurt at all. That's what the going word is.
That feels like
Weapons
Mike
now.
Shanahan all over again.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Now,
think he's hurt. I think he's hurt, but I think that makes the Chargers prepare a little bit differently in case he were to play.
maybe.
I don't
That's
think
what's
Strong's
that's
that
what's
smart.
so fun about week 1. We have no idea what each
Yeah.
other's
Right.
teams are.
I remember
There's
we
no
felt this
tape
way. We
on
had
this.
RG3, and then we saw
Yeah.
the Saints game. We was like, this dude ain't playing no preseason. Rookie, he ain't gonna be. And then the Saints happened, shocking all. You know what? It could happen. I'm not saying it's gonna happen.
You're
But
giving Kevin ammunition
No,
for
no,
Justin
no.
Herbert not playing, man.
Think about this though. Think about this. I think our defense is better than their defense, but I think their offense is better than our offense. Right? I think the gap in our offense and their defense is smaller, is wider rather than the gap between our offense and their defense. I think their defense will be better against our offense than our defense will against their offense. That's what I'm trying to say. If you understand what I'm saying,
I gotta get
I
that.
may-
I gotta
I
get
may
that.
or
I gotta
may
get your
not have
phone number,
spoke
bro.
to
I
Kevin
want to
Smith.
text you. I like you. You're pumping me up. You're getting me excited.
but
Oh,
I think y'all gonna lose. But I just don't think it's good. I think y'all gonna
That's
lose.
this way to tell me I was gonna lose.
y'all
Though I
gonna
really
lose. Y'all
appreciate
gonna
you.
lose, man. But I think it's not gonna be easy. I mean, I don't think
What
it's
you
gonna
got?
be easy.
What's your score?
24-17, Red Wolves.
Red Bulls. And he's calling the team name. He's got a lot of predictions.
It was between that and Fast Blacks, but they didn't want to.
You don't want to go there.
They didn't want to go there. Yeah.
So Kev, we're gonna save you for last, so I'll do Steve and then myself before I kick it to you. So Steve, what's your hot take and final?
Okay, so if you know me, I like metrics, I like analytics. I love Vegas. So
Same.
before today, it's been teetering. It was LA -1. And then when the Eckler news came out, it turned to a pick'em. And the latest is Washington -1. But I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say Chargers win 21-20. The hot take is that Dustin Hopkins has a chance to hit a field goal.
Oh,
and
hell
lose.
no, man.
So that's my prediction. Hey, Washington football Twitter, I
Boo
love
this
you.
man.
You can at me.
My hot
Boo
take,
this
Abby.
man.
My hot take, Abby, Big Sticks.
If
I'm
anybody, we have some fans came over here from our Twitter. Go follow Steve right now. We like Steve. Steve's a good
Oh,
man.
that's fucked up.
I'm not a homer. I take the blinders off. I just call it how I see it. I don't know that our offense. I'm not worried about the defense. I don't know that our offense has done anything.
Abky
Has
Pick
enough
6. I'm
ammo.
calling it.
So I'm gonna say, yeah, we put the game in our kicker's hand, and he messes up.
Dev, I want you to put what Dev said
Yeah,
Put what
I'm already
Dev
getting it. I'm
said
already getting it from the
on-
comment.
on the list of failed predictions
Sorry,
Dev's
Justin.
made. After
Abkey,
pick six
pick
goes along with Cam Newton to Washington,
That's going to
Aaron
happen.
Rodgers to
That's
Washington,
going to happen.
and Cam Sims to free safety.
Cam Newton is going to happen.
Cam Newton's not happening.
Okay, that's my hot take. I digress.
After booing Steve, the host of the pod, I might as well just come in and say that I think the final score will be 24-16 Chargers.
What?
Because like Steve, I cannot be a homer.
Judas.
No. I don't have much confidence in Fitzpatrick yet. I still think you said it earlier yourself, Dev, that he only had 12 preseason snaps himself.
Rod straight.
I think that the quarterback who has the better command of the offense is second string, but he will get better. But my hot take, which is a reversal of my score prediction, if Antonio Gibson is fully healthy, because we know he was gimpy ending last season, he could go off for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns, and then that obviously changes my prediction to a Washington 24-17 win as well. So it's pretty close. It could go either way.
So you just hedge.
You just riding the fence in, man.
Don't you say that.
Damn, man. You did all that whole monologue to just say, I don't know who's going to win.
Gun to your head right now. Which
have
one of those are you picking?
idea who's going to win the game.
If there's a gun to my head right now, I'm going to pick the Chargers just because I don't know what Washington's going to bring.
Hey, y'all heard it. Ryan also said he wants the quarterback over Chase.
On top of this, historically, our football team is not very good week 1.
Yep,
I will say that. We seem to be a team that gels as the season moves along. So
somebody find some baby pictures of Rod that Chargers onesie or something. I know there's one out there.
So we're 2-2. Who's going to break the tie? I think
Kevin is.
Jeez, we know what this is.
He's going Washington. He's going Washington.
Yeah. No way, I can't do it.
He's going Washington.
So my score, I think you guys are going to come out. You will score a touchdown in like the first quarter, but that'll be the end of that. I think our defense and the adjustments we're going to make, and you just get ready for this defense. It's going to be exciting. 24-13 is final score, and I think Herbert is 75% completion percentage. So I think he's going to have a good game.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Tom Brady didn't even do it.
75. Hey, and I'll give you another one for my brother for fun because he's my co-host. Asante Samuel Jr., our rookie second rounder pick. He's going to get a pick.
Hey, what's Justin Herbert's completion percentage 20 yards plus when he pushes the ball then? 75% is really high, man. That's incredible.
It's pretty
Fitzpatrick, you don't live on the air.
Bold takes, man. I got to go crazy. I got to say something that's stupid, not realistic, and then it happens, and then you
look like a genius.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I said last night, first 2 drives are going to result in 14 points for us. I see it now. And then we just run the ball the rest of the game.
I appreciate your shameless positivity, Phil. I really do. You align with how we feel about our team.
I am an intelligent optimist.
We got Justin Sawyer coming in from Facebook saying we're going to smack their ass. You heard it here first.
Oh, Justin, calm down.
So, but Kevin, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So we just talked about week 1, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about your division with the rest of the teams, given, where we are today, September 9th?
The Raiders suck. I hate the Raiders. They suck. They're just a dumpster fire. I think the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and we're always going to be dealing with them. I think they're always going to be a problem unless we can really get our shit together. The Broncos have a great defense, but they don't know what they're doing at quarterback. So that's it's a strong division. A lot of good defenses, and then the Raiders.
Yeah. And from an external perspective, all jokes aside, rivalry aside, game 1 aside, what is your take? What is your honest take about our team and the NFC East in like the most sincere, objective way? Not even bullshitting about week 1. We just love to hear it. What do people think about us?
Yeah, all I really know about you guys is Chase Young and Fitzmagic. That's really the extent of because we never see you guys. We never run into each other. I do know Antonio Gibson because I had to draft him on my fantasy league.
You're welcome for Stan Humphries, by the way.
Are you starting?
But I won't start him week 1. I'm benching him week 1.
I love you, bro. I do the same damn thing.
So I can't do it.
Do you sit starters in fantasy? Do you sit starters who are going against the team?
My team is way more important than fantasy football. I'm not starting an opposing team. that $100 buy-in, whatever. I eat pieces of shit like that for breakfast. I don't care. I'm not starting him. So, I will look forward to using him week 2 and on. So I'm looking forward to him tearing it up later in the season.
So I hope that my other hedge bet goes true and you cry yourself to sleep on Sunday when he goes for 3 touchdowns and 150 yards.
Yeah, I'm known to cry after bad losses. So yeah, I'll send you a picture, but that won't happen. That's not going to happen.
What do you think about all the name stuff? Not that, I mean, I know it's so far away, but
Yeah, I don't know, man. There was one that I heard a while ago that I thought was really cool. Was the Red Tails? I thought that was a dope name, but that's not in the mix. But I don't know. Washington football team has a ring to it. It's like old school. You know what I mean? Like I'm not mad at it.
I'm one of the few who like it, and I'm in the
Flex.
minority.
I'm not mad at it.
You know?
The list I saw was I don't know. I kind of like football team. I don't know. There weren't any of
That's
them that
my
were
favorite is football team.
Yeah, shit. That's what they do.
It doesn't offend anyone.
Not 7 and
Yeah,
what, 7 and 9 last year, 7 and 8. Like, oh god, like it's just 7 and it's disgusting to me. Like, I'll keep football team if we go fucking 15-2 or something like that. Like something ridiculous.
Then you lock it in. You win the Super Bowl as the Washington football team. You can't change your name.
Absolutely,
Right.
That's the only way.
That's the
Hey,
only
you know,
way.
have another sub 500 season as the Washington football team. Like, this is great. Like, it
They
just
go to
sounds
the,
like
if they go to the
great
playoffs
time.
twice in a row with that name, you can't change it, can you?
Yeah.
You get the
Believe you
T-shirts
can.
printed. You can't do it.
Yeah.
What are you gonna
Washington
do?
Washington is a plus 4,000 to win a Super Bowl. I mean, I gotta lay 100 on it, right?
Do it. Easy.
That's a massive
easy
payoff.
money.
What do you
Easy
think
money.
the Chargers record's going to be? Have you guys done a 1 through 18?
Yeah, I think we're a 12-win team. I really do.
All right, so you think you or Denver's going to make the playoffs?
Dude, what are you asking? Yes,
Do
we're
you-
gonna make
all right,
the
so
playoffs.
and Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City's gonna make the playoffs.
So you think two people out of your division is making the playoffs?
Yes, 100%.
Who's not making the playoffs? Do you guys get in?
Who's not making the playoffs?
I think what Dev's saying is that basically both he asking is both the wild card spots coming from your division.
Like what?
It's possible. I think the NFC West is going to have both wild card spots potentially.
So
in the
who's
NFC.
who's in the playoffs in the AFC? So that would be what? Kansas City probably.
Yeah,
Bills
Buffalo.
maybe Bills.
Bills.
Then you
Bills.
got
Patriots.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Patriots are going to be back in the playoffs.
The
This year.
You think Miami or the Patriots?
The question is like the Steelers and the Big
You
Ben.
still
is how
got
old
you
he
still
is.
got the Ravens and the Colts and
Well, Ravens we're not too worried about now.
They
after
lost both of
today's
their
news.
running backs.
Brown.
Yeah,
You keep saying you're not worried about it, but they always seem to win 10, 11 games.
I know.
Yes,
You know
but
what I'm saying?
that-
It's like
you are
Pittsburgh.
Lamar Jackson homer.
I'm focusing
I am a
on
Lamar
my
Jackson homer.
AFC West, and then I'll start once we get past you guys. Then I'll start thinking about the big.
Y'all not
picture.
winning. Y'all not winning the NFC West though. It's on AFC West though.
I definitely couldn't win the NFC West
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean the AFC West. You're not winning.
I know I'm messing with you. I think
Yeah.
it's very possible, man. Like the way we played the Chiefs last year, we beat them once. They sat their starters, but we took them to overtime in that first game. We just had a shitty coaching staff that made terrible decisions and a weak defense that played prevent when we were up one touchdown. That's just what happened to us last year. We lost 5 games by 1 possession. Like that's ridiculous. It's not going to happen this year.
And you guys have someone on your team. So we had a guy, a great friend on the show a long time ago, a couple months, maybe 6 months ago, named Eric Helwig. He does a show called Bring in the Backups. His whole shtick on YouTube is about analyzing the backup quarterback. And I like backup quarterbacks. You guys have one of the most tenured, reliable backup quarterbacks in the history. He's been robbing teams for years of money.
Oh yeah.
Chase Daniel. Like he's been on Kansas City. He's been in New Orleans. He's been everywhere.
We drafted him.
We did draft him. That's what I'm saying.
right.
Like he's a great backup quarterback. So did he do okay in the preseason?
They did all right, but we didn't, as you mentioned, we didn't start much of our offensive line, so it's hard to tell what actually is going on. There's a lot of pressure and stuff, but there was a really good battle between him and Easton Stick. Like it's just kind of hard to tell. I think the reason he was North Dakota State. He's one of those Carson Wentz. Yeah, right behind him. But
what do you think the weakness is of the Chargers?
Special teams. Until proven otherwise. We brought in a whole new coaching staff for that specifically. It's been a huge point of emphasis. So I always am like this during punts and kickoffs because that's what's gotten us.
Hey, that sounds familiar.
You know that
our punter's like God.
Our
over here,
punter's
man.
great. Our punt returns last year were scary, and our kicker is scary.
He's trash juice. Actually,
Trash juice. That's
what we want to call that guy.
He is not.
He's that clear stuff you pour out of a tuna can before you put the tuna in a bowl. That's
God, that's funny.
Yeah, but so I will say this: I actually predicted the Chargers to be a 10-11 win team this season myself. Not figured, yeah, because of the fact that I think that they're clearly ahead of two teams in their division. That they're going to pull out of
You
4
think they're
games.
clearly ahead of Denver?
Yeah.
Really?
Denver's offense
I think it
Teddy,
could go either way.
Drew
One
Lock.
of those guys.
I like Teddy, but I don't
Bridgewater
like.
because he's a Louisville guy.
I don't like their running game is. Bleh.
Melvin Gordon sucks.
Yeah, he used to be good.
Right.
Used to, yeah. And then don't get me started on
Noah
him.
Fant is good.
Yeah.
Noah Fant's good. I got him in everyone.
They got a bunch of young receivers too, and a defense.
Well, I just don't know. I have more questions about Denver's offense than ours, and there's a lot of we don't knows with both. I'm still predicting us to be a 10-7 team as well. Some of that comes from the glory of being in the NFC East. That always helps. But I think that. I predicted a larger margin of victory than I probably should, because it's the unexpected thing. If I predict a close score, it's going to be a blowout. I do honestly think that these are two very comparable teams. The two teams that are both on their way up. So I think that if anything else, this is just going to be a very interesting matchup. But I just, like I said, I have just certain visions I'm seeing of how this game's going to start, and that will be the difference. But you're going to see for 3 quarters of this game, it's going to be just a back and forth.
It's going to be a fun battle.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'll take that. Before we go to our shout-out segment, Kev, that's the way we end every pod. So we know that the Cowboys are playing the Buccaneers right now. They're tied 7-7 in the second quarter. So we're obviously interested in this game as well.
Snap! I forgot football zone.
But what's
baby.
your prediction for this game?
I may or may not.
We're tied 7-7, but who do you think is going to pull out and be victorious? If you give a damn, yeah.
God, I hate Tampa Bay, so let's say, but I don't like Cowboys either. That's a tough one, man.
That's how I feel,
That's
man.
a tough one. I don't know. Like I have, I think Godwin playing right now in fantasy, so maybe he gets a touchdown.
Oh snap! I forgot fantasy football started today.
A touchdown from him and a tie. That's what I'm looking for in this game.
Hey, I'll take a tie.
Give you guys a chance a little later on in the season.
Oh, they both lost.
I'll take that. So, like I said, we end every pod with shout out. So I'm going to at least kick it off and say, hey, shout out to Kevin and the Charger Chat pod. Join us this evening, man. It's been fun. I definitely like talking with other opponents, other fans of other organizations, other podcasts, whatever. And you gave us some great insight, some great enemy intelligence on what we should face on Sunday. I hope you're wrong. I hope we do not lose to you guys, but it's been a pleasure having you on this pod. Phil, who's your shots this evening?
I was going to be a real pleasure whenever we win and then get him on here the next day. Awesome.
Shout out to Dev.
That'd be tough. Be like on a pillow crying.
Shout out to the whole Facebook group, because they've been really coming strong lately with a lot of activity. We're up over 6,500 members now, which is really nice. Wish more of them would actually subscribe to the YouTube channel. Calling you all out. Especially shout out to Fred, who is basically disowning everybody in the group who doesn't subscribe to the podcast.
The pod police.
Love, and always enjoy the love. And should I shout out Parker Hamlet? Because we're cool now.
Love. We give everyone love out here, man. That's what we
shout out to Parker Hamlet. If anybody was following the Twitter goings-ons in Washington football land on Monday, you'll understand what I'm referring to. But shout out to Parker. Everything's good. We're all good. It's all water under the bridge.
Yeah, Kevin, a little sidebar there. The Washington football team, Washington Redskins, whatever you want to call us, we are like a trailer park, backwoods ghetto, project living family that we punch each other in the mouth on Monday, and then we go out to dinner on Tuesday, and everything's good. So awesome. That's what that's in reference to.
Awesome.
It got nasty. I may have ethered that dude a bunch of times on Twitter.
That's what we do. That's what we do. Dev, who gets your shouts this evening, man?
I don't know. Nobody. Not sure.
Job.
No, definitely not him. Jeez, man. If I have one, yeah.
You'll be good.
I hope so. But shout out to Kevin for showing up for the podcast.
Thanks, brother.
I really didn't have any shout outs, but that's my guy now. I'm going to follow him on Twitter. He's going to be the only other
Let's
team
do
guy I
it.
follow, man.
Let's
Chargers, Cat Pod.
go at it on Sunday, man. It'll be fun.
Oh, I can't wait to talk cash
Absolutely.
money
Absolutely. I look forward to that.
and then not say anything if we're losing. That's how I was going to roll. Ooh.
Steve?
Yeah, I mean, keep it simple. Hey, Kevin, thanks for joining us. Shout out to you guys in the Charger Chat Pod, and I know we couldn't get Kyle and Adam on here, but tell those guys hi for us. Wish we could have met him; it would have been great. Good luck to you guys. Good luck to you guys. For the whole season, and hey, who knows? Maybe we'll see you guys in the show. Who knows? But hey, thank you for joining us. When we were doing some research about who we wanted to partner with for this week, and ran into you guys and explored the opportunities, I was like, man, we got to get those guys. And thank you so much for being so gracious with your time and working with us. And we really appreciate you having on. And you guys are doing some great things out there at your podcast and YouTube channel. So keep up the good work. You guys are killing it. So
quick question.
Brother.
I got a question too. Is that a damn infinity stone behind your head, Steve? What the hell is that?
That's my Washington football.
I know what it was. You're gonna be like,
yeah,
get a win, some.
So I got a question for Kevin real quick. Where'd you find that dude, Craig?
Craig, he's from Texas, man. Found him on Twitter. He's amazing. He's amazing. He's our fourth Beatle. He drops in and gives us some
I
stuff.
saw where he gets his own segment and everything, and I was just like, "Who is this dude?"
Yeah,
he's kind of
awesome.
out there.
He's awesome.
I mean,
he's awesome. He played, and he has good insight, especially when the games come around. And we can really get into the X's and O's. We also have an awesome one, because we're a fan podcast, man. We're bringing on people. If somebody has a good idea and pitches it to us, we try it. So we started a new segment called Bolt History. There's a guy who's been a fan since the early 70s. He gives us a history lesson every week. So nice. It's fun, man. It's bringing our community together. That
Phil's he's our resident historian. We started a series called Washington Way Back. Nice. Phil goes and educates us because he is our human computer for the team. So.
And I want to shout out you guys. Your music, your song at the beginning. That's where it's at, guys. How do I get one of those for our podcast?
That's Dev.
He produced that. That's him.
Whoa, bro, that was really good.
We don't have the heart to tell Phil it's autism, by the way. Troy should never say that.
Might be somewhere on the spectrum.
Yeah, we don't have the.
The only spectrum I'm not on is Rod's internet.
Yeah, fuck.
So
far though. So let me knock on wood again. But yeah, typically I've been dropping off the past couple of podcasts, man. But yeah, once again, Kevin in the Charger Chat Pod community, thanks so much for joining us. Best wishes and nothing but health to your team this season.
Likewise. Stay healthy, boys. Have fun.
That's all you want.
Is COVID bad over there in San Diego?
It's pretty much the same everywhere. From what I've gathered. Yeah.
It's never good anywhere, I guess.
No, we're gonna be wearing masks at the game. We got season tickets, so we'll be there with masks on in week 2.
Awesome, man. No, so like I said, stay safe, and like I said, thanks for joining us, man. Be good.
My pleasure. Thank you guys so much.